These properties, large multifamily apartments, well, they don't just grow on trees. So if we want to buy one, where do we find them? Let's break it down. As an investor, if you've never tried to go out and buy apartments, it might seem a bit overwhelming. So let's talk about it. When you buy a house, there's really three main ways you buy a house, right? With a realtor, you might go on a website like Zillow or Redfin, or you might just drive around and knock on doors and see if you can find a property to buy directly from the owner. Well, when we go out to buy apartments, it's actually pretty similar. Those three things work. It's just at a little bit of a bigger level. The first place we go to buy properties is a broker, a multifamily broker. This is basically like a realtor, but for apartments. A broker's job is to go out and know every single apartment complex in their market. So for us as buyers, as investors, if we can get to know the brokers in the area, we can essentially get to know all the properties by only knowing these few key people. Now, a broker's job is tedious. They have to go out and build relationships with every owner, find out where the owner is in their business plan, if there's anything going on the property and they might want to sell in the future, and to get that lead from them with the hopes of the broker going to people like us who want to buy the properties. So it's our job as investors to build relationships with the brokers and let them know exactly what it is we're looking for, what size we're looking for, how much we're looking to spend, and what type of property, if we want a heavy value add or a really stabilized property, and to stay top of mind with all those brokers. So when the broker finally has one of those owners come to them and say, hey, we're ready to sell, they think of us because we've been connecting with them consistently. Number two, we can go to websites like CoStar is one of the biggest websites in existence. It's very expensive to have access to, but most properties that are going to get listed end up on CoStar. Also, if you're looking for free websites that you can just go and check it out and see what properties look like, you can go on LoopNet or Crexi. Also, you may be surprised that some smaller multifamily 2 to 30 unit range might end up on realtor.com or Zillow because the person listing it might go with a realtor who doesn't really know that multifamily goes on these other websites. So you might find a needle in a haystack there. Typically, if a property ends up on LoopNet or Crexi, it's because the broker hasn't sold it to an investor directly like we talked about in the first step. And by the way, those websites are great places to make broker connections and get a list of brokers in the market. And number three, we call it driving for dollars. This is when you physically drive around a market, or you could even Google drive around a market with Google Maps and look at all the properties. If you see a smaller property, 2 to 30 units, and it looks a little bit run down, maybe mismanaged, maybe the landscaping is overgrown, maybe there's broken boards, maybe the fence is broken, maybe the lights are out, that could be an opportunity for you to reach out directly to the owner and try to buy it, because chances are it's a mom and pop owner and they're just letting that property get run down. They might have owned it for a long time and not know that they can go talk to a broker and get it sold on the market. So you can find the owner of them online, send them a note, try to get on a phone call, try to meet with them for coffee, and see if you can strike a deal to actually buy that property. Wherever we find properties, the point is we want to find a property where the numbers make sense, where we can run a legit business and create returns for ourselves and our investors. Our investors come to us because they don't want to do all the work to try to find and acquire, figure out how to raise the money to buy these properties. So we partner up together and co-own them. To find out more, you can go to amitycashflow.com. My name's Chris Collins. We'll talk to you more tomorrow about investing in apartments.